would you kind of give us a background on what's happened in this world that we live in over time? Because there's a lot of talk about the Anunnaki and other races, reptilians, et cetera, that have interfered or intervened in this world at various times. And there's a lot of confusion out there about when did these things happen, and what was the order of these things, and what actually did occur as opposed to a lot of the stories we hear. Could you kind of give us some background history, please?
Sure. Well, Earth has been at the center of all attention due to the fact that Earth is the completion of an intergalactic experiment that is known as the Cosmic Living Library. In its original intent, Earth was established as an intergalactic exchange center of information for the entire multiverse. It is with this where the new seat of the kingdom of the central universe will be, establishing, and then from this throne or from this Earth, we are going to oversee new creations and as new and new universes come into being. So, because Earth has been at the center of it all. It has been the most coveted planet for both celestial regressives, or those that have fallen from the unity consciousness, consider the Luciferian rebellion in the form of the Draco. And then, of course, it's been the most protected planet by the guardian races because of its significance. So for millions of years, we've had different races, regressive ETs that have tried to take control over the affairs of the Earth. But fortunately for us, we've also had the guardian races that have been here to counterattack or counterbalance each effort by the Dark Ones to try to take over this planet. Because if that wasn't the case, this planet would have been totally controlled by the Draco long ago. And instead of having humans here, we would have had reptilians. So, this planet has tons of protection at this time. So the Draco, through the negative branch of the Anunnaki, which are the lineage of Enki, by the way, the elites, the Dark Cats they worship Enki. Enki is Lucifer. They kind of flip the story around to make us think that Enlil was the bad guy. But, Enlil represents the lineage of Michael as to why he was the chief guardian of Earth, known as Zeus to the Greeks, Krishna to the people of the Hindus Valley, now India. And he was also known as, he's the god of thunder, right? Well, he's the chief guardian that represents the lineage of Michael. And then to the early Hebrews, he was known as Elion. So I just want to make that correction, that everything we know about the Anunnaki has been translated by the priesthood of Belial-Baal, who is, Marduk, the son of Enki. So that's when this world fell into darkness, approximately in 9,500 BC. That's when, things change in favor of the darkness. But they were only given temporary control of our planet. They only had a few thousand years to try to establish absolute control, and they failed because of the fact that the forces of light, through the descendants of Enlil, by the way, who are the original Hebrews, through Abraham, King David, and Solomon, and then later through Jesus, Mary Magdalene, and then now through the White Hats, they have been, fighting this war from behind the scenes in order to allow us to get to this point, which is the ascension now. The Earth is getting ready to go into 5D any day now. So this whole war, is now come to an end in favor of the light. And as of 2016, ever since the alphabet letter 17 came onto the scene in this White Hat military operation, the Draco control of the planet has been uplifted. We're no longer under the Draco control of the planet. So now that we've done away with the Draco overlords, ever since 2016, you could say that the Earth Alliance with the White Hats have been doing a huge house cleansing on the Earth. And so where we're at right now is that the White Hats have now completely checkmated the Earth as to why they blew up, the Georgia Guidestones and other monuments that were erected by the Dark Brotherhood.